What's up, guys? Parker Talks is back, and I have just seen the New Mutants in theaters, one of the first movies to be released since the pandemic started. And let's get this video going. So, this is very sad, but this is the first Marvel movie, any type of Marvel movie, MCU, X-Men, any other Marvel movie, that I have seen in theaters. Very sad. But I have seen all the MCU movies, I have seen all the X-Men movies, so look forward to some of those future videos coming out for rankings and stuff like that. But anyway, this is my first movie I've seen in theaters, and so I was really hyped to see this movie as one of the X-Men movies. Now, even though this was my first Marvel movie I was seeing in theaters, I was kind of skeptical about it because all of these characters in this X-Men franchise are new, and that's what the movie is supposed to be about. They're all supposed to be new, but you just don't know where that will take when it is already in a series of movies that have already happened, and this is smack dab in the middle of the same timeline as the Deadpool and Deadpool 2 movies take place. Now, I saw the trailer for this movie before I saw it, and I know it was part horror, and I'm not really good with horror movies. I'm not really good at all, but I was able to handle this well. There was no jump scares or anything for me, and for me it felt more like a thriller. So I wasn't worried about that. But what I didn't know is that this movie takes place in basically just one facility the whole time. It's very self-centered in one place compared to maybe some other X-Men movies like Days of Future Past, where it's timeline. You go back through different times over a span of like 40 years. But this is really self-centered, so it helps you focus on that main part of the movie, which is what it's wanting you to pay attention to. So as you get to know our main character, who is one of the mutants, she is brought to this facility where she meets these other mutants that have been in this facility for a very long time. They have no idea why they're here, if they're actually getting help here, and what is there to come after. And since all these characters are new, in the first, hour of the movie, you're trying to get to know them, who they're like, what are their powers, and once you get to that end of the hour, I mean, you know all the powers of everybody, and except for our main character. Now, that's the main plot of the story, is that you don't know what the power of our main mutant is. And sorry, I can't remember the names of everybody because they are all new. And hopefully, we'll see what these movies to come are that include these characters too. But anyway, that's the plot of this whole movie, is figuring out what is the power of this main mutant. And what I think this movie does really well, and what my favorite part of the movie, is they use those aspects of horror to show us what the main mutant's powers really are, and you don't even know of at that time. All these other mutants are going through these times of crisis, and they see things they fear, and you don't know why you're seeing this, and that's where the horror aspect comes in the movie. All these characters are seeing all these things that they fear, and you don't know why that's occurring. So that takes us to our final climax of the movie, where all the horrors or fears that everybody has is all coming together, all trying to basically attack them, even though it's not there. And then you figure out who our main villain is in the movie. And finally, the mutants will work together to try to overcome that. But there is that fear of our main mutant that is still in the way, that still serves as a problem to all the mutants. And that's where they finally all come together. After all these struggles during the movie, some of the mutants are not getting along with each other. This is where they finally come together and try to have to work together to defeat this fear that our main mutant has. One more aspect I liked of the film was how they kind of linked it to some other films where some mutant children are getting tested on. That occurs in Logan as well, and that they have a flashback in this movie to that. And I thought it would have linked towards Logan, but I forgot. This was before Logan taking place. But you can just feel just how much pressure is going on between these mutants' minds. They're trying to determine what their real powers are, and they've had all this trauma and struggle earlier in their lives as well. Now, even after all that good, there is some bad. Some bad that I didn't like about the movie is it is new, so all these characters are new, and that's okay, but it feels really off from the timeline. If you've seen the X-Men movies, it doesn't feel like it's a part of it. It has the same type of plot as maybe some other movies have, but it doesn't feel like it's a part of that. Now, if there's future movies with the New Mutants, which I'm pretty sure there will be, I feel like this will make this movie even better. But even though that happens, you do have more time to learn these new mutants characters and all that. The other aspect that I didn't really like was Sam, who is the same character that plays Jonathan in Stranger Things. That's how I knew him. I forget the actor's name, but he's from Kentucky, so he has like a country accent, like even deeper than mine. But it feels like for some parts of the movie he has that accent, and the other parts he doesn't. And like some parts he really has that deep southern accent. So I was just like kind of confused. I feel like sometimes he was talking normally, sometimes he's talking, country, but that's just some small tidbit I found that was a little confusing to me. But overall, I feel like this movie will be up there in my ranking of the X-Men movies, which I plan to do at some point, even though it's not as intertwined with the storyline as basically every other movie. I feel like it's very watchable if you are just getting into the X-Men movies. And yeah, I give it a B minus, even though I feel like it's still up there. And yeah, this is my first movie review. I'm planning to do another movie review this week. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.